Welcome, everyone. What we're watching, episode 69. You know, we're not going to sing it, but I heard a song back in the day talking about 69 is the place to be.
I heard 69 was a really good year. Um, I don't know. I mean, they had a lot of stuff going on. So I don't know. I mean, I sup- I'm not going to make that joke. But yes,
We've
this
made
is
it episode 69.
we made it to 69, man. Like,
We're inching closer and closer to that 100. We are inching
you
closer
know
and closer
what
to that
the
100.
goal is to get to that 100, man. The goal is always to get to that 100, bro. So, steady work. It's funny, to see it's taken this long, bro. But life be life, and I'm glad that if I could do it with anybody, man, I'm glad I can do it with you, bro. So this
I,
one, this is a good one.
I'm going to say this. I think now, folks, as you're listening along, I'm sure there's a transcript you can get on YouTube. And so make sure there's an asterisk next to that, I think. But from here going forward, you should be getting more, at least it's on my end, more consistent episodes. But June and July just hit me for a loop. I had a lot of life changes
I
going
was gonna
on.
say it.
And you
2026,
and you did as well.
summer 26 has been a year of transition, uh, and I'm not complaining because transition for some is scary. For me, it's looking up, and I'm excited to see what the new norm is, bro. You know what I mean? It's like we get ourselves in the routine, and something is uncomfortable until it becomes routine. So it's just like I look forward to the routines, and I'm like I've enjoyed seeing my transition from when you and I started. I would often make fun of how early you woke up. Now that's my routine, and when I get up, I do my things. I get my tea. I'm straightening up. Like this is just every day. So I look forward to the transition. I look forward to because it's living. As long as I'm transitioning, I'm living, man, and that's important because I've seen. We talked about this. Is the second time you and I have talked in the last couple of weeks. Several actors that we've talked about on the show, made mention to in conversation, that are no longer with us, man, and even one. The man Eddie Kane from the Five Heartbeats, man. Like while I was out last weekend, I found out about that one, man. Broke my heart. Nights like this, I wish the raindrops would fall, man. Shouts out to Robert Townsend and the Five Heartbeat, man.
And then just this week, you had Shelley Fabre from. She was a singer. Again, I'm not going to sing. I don't want to get any YouTube stripes, but she had a song, Johnny Angel, and I believe actress. I want to say Donna Reed show, but it may not have been the Donna Reed show. But she was on Coach. If you
Gotcha.
remember Coach from the late '80s and the
Remember
'90s,
Coach? Was that
she
his wife?
she she played his wife. Yeah. And if you've ever seen the show MASH, BJ on MASH had the mustache. She
Yeah.
was she was his wife in real life.
Got you. So,
Uh, Passed away, and then yesterday, as we record this, we lost Dolly Parton, and
and
then
today, Tim,
today Tim Curry. Yep.
I will say this: the one, I guess, if you have to say a positive, came from all of this death. The positive was I looked up someone's book and have listened to 26 of 42 of 42 chapters of a book while I was driving last week, um, in and out of town. I put Hayden Panettiere's book on and
Mm-hmm.
got to get into the reckon. Is it This Is Me, The Reckoning? I think it's the name of the book. So far, I've enjoyed it. I will see myself starting to do the audio books more, man. So who knows, man? I may be able to guest on an episode of Bathtub Baristas now that I'm getting into the literature.
Hey man, you are always welcome to join us. And but I tell you, that's what I do in the morning time. I go and pick out my outfit for the day. I make the bed. I get ready. As I'm doing that, I'm listening to an audiobook. So I'm right there with you. I'm like, I'm captive anyway. Like I have to do something if I want to listen to something. And sometimes I'll switch it over to music or if I'm feeling like in a music mood, but most of the time it's an audio book. So but let me ask you this, because my family, we've got a little family chat and we were talking about, how do you know Tim Curry? What is Tim Curry to you? Like when you think Tim Curry?
Bro, there are so oh my gosh. The length of why. I could start with, the obvious being Rocky Horror, but I didn't get introduced to Rocky Horror until late.
Me neither.
So for me, Tim Curry, oddly enough, he was Clue. That's a start, right? Then I start seeing Tim Curry in bit parts, like he's I think he's in a movie with Charlie Sheen, Emilio Estevez, and Samuel L. Jackson. It's one of those spoof movies. It's not Hot Shot Part 2, but it's something like that. He played the bad guy.
Loaded Weapon 1.
It may have been was Samuel L. and Emilio in that one.
Yes.
So
it was supposed to be like Lethal Weapon, but it was like a spoof
right.
movie.
He played like he had like a scene where he was in a Girl Scouts uniform, like the whole thing. Like Tim was just funny, and then just again to go back and show how woven he was. Recently, whenever I'm sitting at home and I'm on my computer, I'll have background on, and I've had on Disney Channel the Mighty Ducks cartoon, and because I watched it as a kid.
Yep.
Tim Curry played the big bad, Draconis, in the Mighty Ducks cartoon. So Tim Curry, as a voice actor, to me, is just as prominent as him as a live action actor. But again, like as an adult now, I love him in Rocky Horror Picture Show. No, I have a love affair with Tim Curry's work. I won't even lie.
Like you, I did not discover Rocky Horror Picture Show until I was in college, and they would show it multiple times on Comedy Central. Like that was their late night Friday night, like 10 o'clock movie, or either 9 o'clock, and at 11 they would show South Park.
Yep. Right.
But for me, it was Rooster from Annie.
Yeah.
Clue. Pennywise from the It miniseries. And Home Alone 2, where he played the hotel guy, manager.
Yeah, see, there was a reason why Pennywise wasn't on my list. While I know he is famous for that role, anybody who knows me knows I don't mess with clowns, and it's specifically because of that movie. So
would you say he did his part very well?
I would say he did his part very well, and whoever the adult was that had that movie on while I was asleep and had me wake up to that big ass spider eating those people, forget you. Now I can't mess with clowns. I haven't seen I haven't watched it in its entirety because of that scene, right? And then I haven't watched the reboots. I don't mess with clowns because of that. Tim Curry did his. He is woven in to my DNA, bro. And I could probably watch it, at 9 a.m. on a Sunday morning. I'm not watching it when it's dusk outside. No.
I've told this story many times, but I'll tell it again real quickly. Our first year together for Valentine's, my wife got me the Stephen King tour because we lived in Bangor, Maine at the time.
Right.
So she's like, just pick a day, set it up. So we just had a bunch of different things coming up. So Saturday, April the 1st, 2017, April Fool's Day. We go and she sets it up. We meet the guy, and he's like, there was one other couple that said they were coming. So if y'all don't mind, we'll wait a few minutes. Not a problem. They never showed up. So it's just me and my wife. And he's like, what's your favorite Stephen? And she's like, this is all my husband. Like, I've read one Stephen King book. That's it. And I said, It. He said, okay, we'll do the It stuff last. And we did. It was a wonderful tour. If you're ever in Bangor, Maine, I highly recommend it. And so she became interested. And I've got the movie on Blu-ray, the original 1990s. She goes, since we're here and the stuff that he talked about was interesting, let's watch it tonight. All right. Boom. TJ, we're watching it, and it's one of those creepy moments. And she's on the couch, and right next to her is a window with the shade closed, and we hear knock, 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 and she loses her mind.
That's awesome.
It was one of the residents who had locked himself out. And I'm like, why didn't you call me or call security? Why are you just knocking? He goes, oh, I thought that was your bedroom. How does that make it better? It doesn't, by the way.
Perfect timing, though, man. Perfect timing.
I mean, and it's really one of those scenes. It ain't just, Eddie and Bill walking down the street going, I sure do like baseball, don't you, Bill?
Got you.
But speaking of which, dude, do you remember Unsolved Mysteries?
Yeah.
They've got, I believe, all of the Robert Stack episodes on YouTube for free. And 2 weeks ago, I fell into an Unsolved Mysteries hole. And I'm like, well, if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch it from the beginning.
Right.
So my wife and I, that's what we're watching. We're watching an episode the other night. And it tells you at the beginning, whenever possible, the actual people and the police have helped us in recreating the events. Well, it's about a wanted thing about these robbers stealing money from banks by tunneling under the banks and then tunneling up into the vault.
Right.
And the guy the police detective is retelling, he goes, yeah, as I came into the vault, I could say, oh, they tunneled in. This is going to be a real professional thing. And they having him recreate it. And he says something to the effect of, make sure you fingerprint that box over there. And I'm sure it's the same fingerprint guy. TJ, the look he gives him, like, I know how to do my job. I know you're just trying to be fancy for the cameras, for the recreation. But there ain't no need for you. And he's sitting there. TJ, the man is literally doing his job. He's dusting and he's looking very intense for the camera. Make sure you dust that place over there. The look. Look, Robert, we both professionals. I do my job. You do yours. Don't act up in for these cameras, Robert.
Acting all brand new right now. If you had done your job 10 years ago, we wouldn't be on this show right now.
Because he's thinking, Robert, they're going to get into it. But they robbed a second set of banks, and there's no update to this episode, Robert. Still hadn't caught them, have you, Robert?
Get real personal with it.
Yeah, Robert. It's because I didn't fingerprint that box correctly.
I didn't fingerprint the box correctly. That's why we don't catch them, because I didn't fingerprint the box, or I didn't dust it quite correctly.
Right. Thanks, Robert. You could tell it. I'm like, that's got to be the real fingerprint guy. They're like, hey, fellas, could you help us? We like to recreate whenever possible. It says it right there at the beginning of each episode. Oh, sure. I get to tell my wife, I'm going to be on TV. What you going to do? Doing my job. And then Robert for the camera.
Makes you trying to make me feel small.
Robert, if these cameras weren't here, I could tell you what you could do with this fingerprint set.
I'm saying, man, like that's the best part.
But that dude, I fall in that rabbit hole, and that show sucks you in, and then all of a sudden you get paranoid. I'm taking the trash out, and there's a car driving by. They don't belong here. What
Bro,
they doing coming up in here?
welcome to every, like, you go to take out the trash, you go to check the mail, there's a car there that's not normally there. So I'm not going to be that person that just immediately calls the cops and says there's somebody here who shouldn't be here. But I am still occasionally peeking out of my window to see if I can see who's getting in of or out of that car. And so I can pay attention to where they're going for future reference. I got to file it away, right? Because I like consistency. So if there is a black sedan sitting outside that's not normally there on a Wednesday, well, maybe this is going to be the norm on Wednesdays now because one of my neighbors has a friend with a black sedan. Okay, cool. Let me register that so that when things are out of the ordinary, I know to be on alert, right? Like, because what you don't want to have happen is you pull into your house and not know that you need to be on alert. You know what I mean? You think everything's cool and then you get bamboozled.
Oh, 100%. Because 2 weeks after my wife had the little shock from the man knocking on the window, my other coworker, and our friend that also worked for the college took off because it was my wife's spring break. And it was going to be a low area time for the college as well. So they're like, oh, yeah, so Joey can cover it all. And dude, I discovered Unsolved Mysteries that weekend at the time was on Prime. And I'm like, ooh, I hadn't seen this show in a while.
Right.
Been a while since I watched Lifetime in the early 2000s because that's when they played the heck out of that show.
Right.
So I'm starting it. And dude, it's a Saturday. It's about 4 or 5 o'clock. It's getting dark. And it's the same thing. I got to take out the trash. There was like 3 cars in the lot because everybody went home. These
Right.
people driving slowly around the lot, an older couple. I'm like, what are they doing up in here? It's not a weekday. They have no business here, but they all, what's happening around the corner? I'm like, y'all,
Cannibal.
I'm like, are y'all scoping out a college building on the weekend?
Cannibals.
Even the fingerprint guy would look at him like, come on, for real? Let me call Robert. Let me have him follow up with you all. Robert, I got a couple here you need to follow up with. Make sure you ask them the right questions, Robert.
Make sure you ask them what they're doing here, Robert. As if that wasn't going to be one of the first questions that Robert asked. Make sure you get their names, Robert.
Because he'd follow up with like, dude, I know what I'm doing. Doesn't feel good, doesn't feel good, does it, Robert?
Folks, just want to take this time to let y'all know everything that you just saw was 1,000% genuine. We didn't plan any of it. We're 18 minutes into the show, and we're just having a good old time.
These are
Welcome.
my notes. These are my notes. It literally says Unsolved Mysteries segments. And I said I had something for you before we went into the movie.
Right.
That's all I told you about, wasn't it?
Good times. But
And
no,
we're back.
And we're back. But again, to put a bow on all of it, it's just like if you grew up in the 80s and the 90s, these next 10 to 20 years are going to be difficult because the people that you grew up on, the people that may have had an impact on shaping how you saw life as an adult, because we're talking about the kid shows, we're talking about all the stuff that you grew up on. These actors behind those roles, they're going to start to expire, unfortunately, and you just have to be able to cope with that. So when you're looking, a lot of people, Dolly Parton, somebody told me today, Dolly passing away to them was the equivalent of what Elvis passing away was back in the day. Like Dolly was one of the most famous people that they had known because they went to Dollywood. They had seen all of her movies. They still listen to her music today. Anytime she's on CMTs, they always watch. So it's like for her to go, that was their Elvis. And I'm like, I get it. I get it. And then to see, like literally as we were getting on, I get a message from my supervisor saying, because me and her were talking about Dolly yesterday, and she just said, "Man, forget 2026," and then she sends me a picture of Tim, and I'm like, so I literally just found out right when we came on. It's it's tough, bro. But Denzel, that one is going to be major for me. Like I can already see like he's one of the best actors that I've ever watched, and
Mor-
he's up there. Morgan Freeman is
Morgan
almost
Freeman.
100 years old. Samuel L.
Yeah.
Jackson's almost 80 years old. We're talking, and Dolly died at 80. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So
Tim Curry's 80. Yeah.
it's yeah. I wasn't trying to start the show off on a cloud. I'm actually hoping that people will, honor and cherish these people. Just enjoy it while you can.
You're
Enjoy these characters while you can, man.
you're right, because you look at a show like that, a lot of people, even if you never watched it, you were aware of it. I Love Lucy.
Yeah,
The four main actors on that all gone. A show I love, the Andy Griffith Show. Ron Howard's the only major actor left. They had
right.
minor characters who were left, but Ron Howard is it. MASH. All the major characters are either dead or they're in their late 80s or 90s
Yep.
because of the
Is
way things go.
Alan? He's still
Alan
alive.
Alda's still alive, yes.
That's what I was thinking. Like he was one of the few because I remember I saw him in the Heist movie with Ben Stiller and Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy is another one. I'm just like, Eddie Murphy. I don't know that I will be, and obviously, it seems like this was a perfect tie-in. I don't know that I'm prepared for that day,
Oh, you're
because of how
I
much
would I would agree with that. Um,
Eddie Murphy has meant to me in my life. Like I don't know if I'm ready for that day, but and then again, just to go the work that we're getting ready to talk about, it's a piece of his work, man. I mean, his resume with a few hiccups, even those hiccups deserve respect.
oh, sure, sure. And he's about to, after this, kind of right the ship a little bit, because he's about to go into uh Nutty Professor,
And we get
Doc,
life after this as well.
Dr. Doolittle,
Yep.
the Shrek movies.
That I think the Shrek movies is what allowed him to really start just doing whatever he wanted, because Shrek was a blank check.
Mhm.
So it's like I no longer have to make a movie worried that if it fails, I can, go broke. I'm making Shrek money, so now I can uh, experiment with like Dave or the Guru, something like that. That it's a little bit.
Bowfinger.
But and the thing about it is, Bowfinger, as far as technical, just movie making, Bowfinger gets respect.
Oh,
It's
100. I enjoyed Bowfinger. I
and
watched
that's
it
the
in
thing that
college.
I'm like, I don't people crap on it because it was different than what he was used to doing. But it wasn't though. I mean, he was playing multiple characters. That's what he does. But when you talk about somebody playing multiple characters, no one does it like Eddie.
Him running across that traffic, running across the highway. I think about that way more than I probably should. But he's like, they all said you did a good job, because he tells them these are all trained professional
Right.
drivers.
Man, look, just again, I'll say this and then we can get into it. A person being able to play multiple characters, you're talking about whether or not he's a good enough actor. If you go and watch Coming to America, the original, and that barbershop scene, enough said. That's enough said. Because you can't tell me the first time that you watched that movie that you knew all of those people were either Eddie Murphy or Arsenio Hall, even to go to the Jewish man. Nah, nah. I call you a liar.
Well, then you're Putsits. They should change the name Mighty Sharp to the Three Putsits.
The Three
His mama
Putsits.
call him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Well, then you're
Mom
Three
call him Clay.
Putsits.
I'm gonna call him Clay.
Pound for
What
pound, pound for pound. He better all of them. He better all of it. What's the book? Mike Tyson. What about Rocky Mousy? What about Rocky Mousy? Oh, there they go.
I'm running down the street, turn the corner, look around, somebody look, pow, punch me in my face. I look up from the ground and say, Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King say, oops, I thought you were somebody else.
Man, you ain't never met no Martin Luther King. Yes, I did.
I have. I met Martin Luther King and he told me Joe Louis was 146 years old.
Frank Sinatra come in and sat down and said, Frank, you hang out with Joe Louis all the time. How old? He said, Joe Louis was 137 years old. He never met no Frank Sinatra. Yes, I did. My favorite part in that, though, is Arsenio said, oh, he did whip Joe Louis' ass. Joe Louis come out of time. He said, I don't know how old he was, got his ass whipped. I have been that guy before. I don't know how old he was, but here's what happened. Yes. Oh man, I'm replaying the hits today. I didn't talk about this story when I was a substitute teacher, and those two girls went to fight in the back hall, and that one hit up, and she come back, and she was going to straight up win, but she fell down, and that other girl was on her, and everybody the rest of the day nobody talked about the girl that won. It was just that if she hadn't have slipped, she was going to tear that other girl up, and I'm over there just like Arsenio. I understand that, but that's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
And they all like they're all trying to correct. No, Mr. Harris, you don't understand. I'm like, listen, I don't have no skin in the game. I don't know Judy or Sally, but Sally got her butt whooped. I cleaned it up for the children. You know how it is.
Right.
Sally, you don't. I get what you're saying. I heard you, but
y'all saying Sally got a hook that won't quit.
Right, but
she
Sally
didn't get to throw it.
Didn't get a chance to throw that hook.
She didn't get to throw it.
Judy got a chance to whip up on Sally when she was on the ground.
Yep.
Oh goodness. Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Yes, let's get into it because I was just about. I had a story to go along right with what you said. This is why I know we good. I'm ready for us to go get breakfast again, man.
Dude, you just don't know. Me too.
We do.
Beverly Hills Cop 3. It's a 1994 American action comedy film starring Eddie Murphy, the third film in the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, written by Stephen E. D'Souza, directed by John Landis. Murphy again plays Detroit detective Axel Foley, who returns to Beverly Hills and teams up with Detective Billy Rosewood, Judge Reinhold, to stop a gang of counterfeiters at a local amusement park called Wonder World. The film features a number of cameo appearances by well-known film personalities, including Robert B. Sherman, Arthur Hiller, John Singleton, Joe Dante, Barbette Schroeder, Peter Medak, special effects legend Roy Harryhausen, and George Lucas. As a ride patron. It is also the only film in the film series not to involve producer Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer, who opted out of the film's production due to budgetary disagreements. Beverly Hills Cop 3 was released on May 25th, 1994 by Paramount Pictures. The film was panned by critics and was considered by Murphy himself as the weakest film in the series. The film also underperformed at the box office, grossing $119 million against a $40 to $70 million budget. A sequel titled Beverly Hills Cop Axel F was released on Netflix on July the 3rd, 2024. 7 years after the events from the second film, Detroit Police Department Detective Axel Foley plans to arrest a car theft ring at a chop shop. Unbeknownst to his superior, Inspector G. Douglas Todd, Axel cancels his SWAT backup, planning to use only his team for the
SWAT.
raid.
You cancel SWAT? I don't go to a birthday party without SWAT.
Axel, I'm only an observer here. If you feel like you can go up inside, TJ, that's the happiest chop shop I've ever seen. They're dancing to Motown.
Bro, and so Eddie Murphy, or excuse me, Axel was 1,000% correct. If things had not popped off like they did prior to them going in, they probably could have took him with just those four guys and Todd inspecting. But
He lived up to his name. He was literally Inspector Todd.
he was Inspector Todd.
He was the best inspector that day, even better than Gadget.
Facts. Facts. Bro, I think Gadget is overhyped. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Inspector Gadget. You know what? Come at me in the comments. Inspector Gadget is overhyped. If you ain't got love for Penny and Brain, you ain't got love for me. Penny was the star of that show.
Actually, Brain was the star of that show. And if I was the chief, it'd have taken about 2 times for him to blow me up before I said, listen, you need to go Gadget, get out of here.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Inspector Gadget got way too much clout, man. Even when Matthew Broderick played him, he got way too much love.
You going back in today now.
I got that for you, my guy. I got that for you. Matthew Broderick, aka what was it? Sex in the City's husband. Yeah, man. 6 Degrees.
Ferris Bueller.
Bueller. Yes.
Meanwhile, a group of 4 men arrive at the chop shop to pick up a stolen box truck. The leader of the group confirms that the truck still has its cargo, crates apparently belonging to the U.S. government. Then has his men execute the car thieves. The group prepares to leave when Axel and his team launch their raid, but are outgunned. Todd, arriving moments later, is killed by the group. Hold on, my associate producers are acting up.
I understand it. I feel bad for Todd in this moment, man, because again, all he was there to do to inspect and observe. You know, like we've seen over the course of these last 2 movies, like Axel has been a thorn in Inspector Todd's side, and now he catches a bullet in it.
I know Jeffrey's not in this one, but that was not Jeffrey's office either, or his locker.
Big facts. Big fact. Axel's got a new partner now, not nearly as humorous as Jeffrey.
When the group flees in the box truck, Axel gives chase but is intercepted by Secret Service agent Steve Fulbright. He informs Axel that the killer must remain on the loose because the federal government is pursuing a larger scheme in which he is involved.
Unacceptable.
Right.
Now, again, I know we're watching a movie, and there has to be something. So I'm watching it with my partner. She's like, I don't believe him. How is it just going to happen to be some smooth-talking guy in a suit there ready to intercept anybody giving chase to this truck? How do you know that they're not a part of the crew? And I was like, you know what? That makes sense.
You know, the first time my wife and I watched Beverly Hills Cop, she was convinced that Jenny was the mastermind.
Ooh.
Because she's like, it all adds up. And I'm like, well, not really, but I could see that. Like, if you had never seen it before.
I mean, look, Jenny is the only one in that company that survives, so all that money falls to her. It's possible.
Or Serge. Speaking of people coming back.
And he's doing very well for himself right now. So, yeah, maybe you might be right.
Hold, please.
It's all good.
Entertain the masses.
Not a problem at all, folks. If you have gotten to this point of the film, you, like me, are invested, man. Like, I mean, Inspector Todd has been that guy for the first 2 movies. And even though he's had more, he's probably had altogether 30 minutes of TV time between the 3 films. But he is still that emotional connection for Axel. Axel legitimately looked up to Inspector Todd. So to watch him get shot after all the mess that Axel has done and all the high blood pressure that Axel has given Inspector Todd, seeing him get shot by the guy and then seeing that guy get away you knew if there was ever a time for him to go to Beverly Hills, he was going to Beverly Hills this time.
After all the butt chewing he didn't gotten done.
I didn't get all of it, boss.
He left a little bit of it. He didn't get all.
He left you a little bit.
Not now. Go home.
Go home. Go home, Axel.
After Todd's funeral, Axel learns that several clues left behind by the killers point to Wonderworld, a theme park in Beverly Hills, California, owned by Uncle Dave Thornton. Axel arrives in Beverly Hills and reunites with his friend Billy Rosewood, now promoted to Deputy Director of Operations for Joint Systems Interdepartmental Operational Command, the DDO-JSIOC.
I run the green line.
And meets John Flint, Billy's new partner after John Taggart's retirement. Flint calls his friend Ellis DeWalt. The associate producers don't like Ellis.
That's why I was going to go ahead and come back in. Isn't it funny that while Taggart has retired, they got someone who resembles Taggart in that co-star role opposite of Billy? It's like, I get. As a matter of fact, if you wanted to land with me that Taggart was retired even more, you wouldn't have gotten a Taggart lookalike. Because the entire time I'm looking at Flint,
Taggart, almost as if that should have been Taggart.
It should have been Taggart. Like, legit, it should have been Taggart, but you're like, and I don't, it's like no knock on the guy who they got, as Flint. I've seen him in other things. He was in a movie called Unnecessary Roughness as a head coach. I enjoyed it. But I'm just saying, if you want me to believe that Taggart is retired, then don't have a Taggart lookalike, because I'm thinking Taggart just got Ozempic and he's just looking a little bit different.
So Flint calls his friend Ellis DeWalt, head of Wonderworld's park security, to let him know that Axel is coming to the park for his investigation. Axel befriends park employee Janice Perkins while touring the park's behind-the-scenes facilities. He is observed by security, then shot at and attacked hand-to-hand. Axel retreats to the surface where he cuts in line to enter the Spider Ferris wheel ride. Axel rescues 2 children from the Spider after the guard accidentally jammed the ride and is brought to park manager Orrin Sanderson. When DeWalt is called in to contest his claim that he was attacked by the security guards without prior challenge, Axel recognizes DeWalt as Todd's killer, but Rosewood and Flint refuse to believe him because of DeWalt's impeccable public record. Keep going.
So at this point, we see the guy who shot Todd walk into the room, and I just knew. I'm like, he's going to land a punch. No, didn't happen. Everybody intercedes and stops it. But you knew this guy just with his condescending look and mannerism. You knew he was a jerk. Like, you just knew he was a jerk. And it's like all the circumstances are in play for some mess, because you got Flint, a.k.a. Taggart 2.0, who's in love with this Ellis DeWalt guy. He can do no wrong.
He's my friend.
We golf on Sundays. So because you golf with this guy on Sundays, there's no way he could be in Detroit murdering inspectors. Actually, he did.
It wasn't on a Sunday. That's how.
It was not on a Sunday.
Later, Axel is visited in his motel room by Uncle Dave and Janice. They inform him that the Wonderworld Park's designer and Uncle Dave's close friend, Roger Fry, has mysteriously disappeared while inspecting the ground 2 weeks earlier, leaving only a letter with a cryptic message. Axel and Rosewood attend a banquet to honor DeWalt as Private Law Enforcement Officer of the Year and meet Axel's old friend Serge.
Serge. What is Serge?
You remember Billy? You remember with the espresso with the lemon twist? They brought back the lemon twist.
Serge is that guy, man. Like, look, you're talking about the. I'm not gonna say he saves it, but again, I always liked seeing him pop up on screen.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, he to me he's the bright point of this movie. I'll be honest with you. This is the first time I watched it since the first time I watched it in theaters. But
Right.
I enjoyed it this time. Was it my favorite of the series? No.
No,
But
but it's not your least favorite.
well, we'll get there. We still got one more, okay? Axel tries to heckle DeWalt into revealing his criminal activities, but DeWalt resists Axel's attempts. Later, Axel digs deeper into a closed-off section of the park and learns DeWalt and Sanderson are using Wonderworld as a front for a counterfeiting ring. DeWalt was at the chop shop in Detroit to collect mint paper stored in the truck. That evening, Axel meets with Uncle Dave to ask him about further details to find a piece of valuable evidence and discovers that Fry's warning letter is actually written on a sheet of the stolen mint paper. Before he can make use of the evidence, Uncle Dave is shot and wounded by DeWalt, and Axel is framed for his shooting. Now, look, at this point, dude, I think in real life, they came across with Uncle Dave has been shot, and it was this guy who it's everywhere.
Everywhere, fast. Like, so real world, who would you equate that to? Like in 1994, Dave Thomas just killed, and it was this guy who did it. Everybody loved Wendy's back in the 90s. So yeah, that's the best I could do, because Walt Disney was already gone, and I'm assuming that this Wonder World is supposed to be a knock
Yeah,
on Disney. So
supposed to be
yeah.
like Disney.
So I'm like, okay, Dave Thomas would have been the equivalent of Uncle Dave getting snuffed. Yeah, okay, I'm with it. But like, it's that scene. He did everything he could to try and save.
I know what it is. Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers was
Yes.
shot. Yep, that's it. That's it right there. Yep.
That's it. Household, lovable name, everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. You had no qualms with Mr. Rogers. And if you've watched Tom Hanks' recreation, then you definitely love Mr. Rogers.
After getting away from DeWalt and bringing Uncle Dave to a hospital, Axel sets out to prove his innocence by storming the park, calling Rosewood and Flint to assist him. My favorite part, one of my favorite parts of the movie is right here. Hey, fellas, which way to the coffee machine? This just in, Uncle Dave was shot, brought to this hospital, and we're looking for this man. And they go, and the window's open, and it's just the breeze.
He's gone now. But not, yeah.
The ensuing shootout kills the rest of DeWalt's henchmen and leaves Axel, Rosewood, and Flint injured. After a hand-to-hand fight, Axel kills DeWalt, avenging Todd. But he also gets on. He also puts on the costume and all that. And the grandma.
Yes, from 227.
From 227, Pearl in the window.
Yes. And the kid would eventually grow up to be in movies as well. But just do the what's the name of the dance?
I can't remember. What was his character's name?
And that's what I was saying, because if you can remember his character's name, then you know what it was. The only
not character the dance.
I remember Rufus Rabbit, but he was dressed as the elephant, so I couldn't think of the name. But yeah.
I'm gonna look it up. Hold, please.
Still, folks, if you're ever thinking about becoming a mascot, let this be a little PSA for you. When you're on the dance floor, don't take off your mask. I repeat, if you're mascotting it up and you're on the dance floor, don't take off your mask. Children will be horrified.
Oh, that's true. That is absolutely true.
Mickey Mouse ripped his head off.
Yes. And you see, we don't have time for that.
I don't want to have those conversations yet.
Come on, where's that? Where's that? Uncle Dave, Serge, Annihilator Girl, like little kid, Grandma Big.
Because it's the Okie Dokie Shuffle.
That's right.
Yep. I love you, Okie Dokie.
Okie dokie. Rufus Rabbit. Oh, they had a lot of Rufus Rabbits and Okie Dokies. That's what these people are there.
It's funny, like, because you spent that time looking for it, and all I did was just I went brain fog for a second, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's the Okie Dokie Shuffle. I remember now.
That's not the Okie Dokie.
That's not the Okie Dokie. It's like this.
In the meantime, Sanderson is killed by Agent Fulbright, who then appears before Axel to explain that he was right. Axel realizes that Agent Fulbright is involved with the counterfeiters, so he fatally shoots him after a brief struggle. Later, Axel, Rosewood, and Flint attend a special event at Wonderworld where Uncle Dave, having made a full recovery, thanks Axel for his assistance by creating a new character for Wonderworld with his name Axel Fox, while Axel begins a relationship with Janice, not Jane. So, asked in 1989 about a third Beverly Hills Cop installment, Eddie Murphy stated, "There's no reason to do it. I don't need the money, and it's not going to break any new ground. How often can you have Axel Foley talk fast and get into a place he doesn't belong? But these such and suches are developing scripts for it. They're in pre-production. The only reason to do Cop 3 is to beat the bank. Paramount ain't gonna write me a no check as big as I want to do something like that. In fact, if I do Cop 3, you can safely say, oh, he must have got a lot of money."
That's awesome.
During the script's early drafts, the plot concerned Foley, Rosewood, and Taggart going to London to rescue Captain Andrew Bogomil, who was being held hostage by terrorists during an international police convention. However, problems such as scripting issues and budgeting caused pre-production to slow to the point where both Ashton and Cox had to drop out due to obligations to other film projects. Taggart's role was rewritten as John Flint, Hector Elizondo, and dialogue was inserted to explain that Taggart had retired and moved to Phoenix. Bogomil's absence is never addressed in this film, nor is he mentioned. However, Ashton and Cox make subtle cameo appearances in the form of a picture on Rosewood's desk of Foley, Taggart, Rosewood, and Bogomil on a fishing trip. This is the same picture that appeared in Beverly Hills Cop 2 on Bogomil and Foley's desk. In an interview in 2012, Ronnie Cox says, "They wanted me to be in Beverly Hills Cop 3, but I read the script." Rejected ideas for Cop 3 include a Robert Towne screenplay in which Foley has to deal with his celebrity status, a scenario teaming Murphy with Sean Connery as a Scotland Yard detective, and another Axel in London idea where his Scotland Yard counterpart would have been played by John Cleese. The last would have involved British gangsters loosely based on the real-life Cray brothers, who were captured in Detroit and transported to London by Jeffrey Friedman, Axel's friend from Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, played by Paul Reiser. And Axel would have gone overseas after the gangsters' henchmen broke them out of custody and murdered Jeffrey.
Wow.
This was scrapped because producer Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer decided it was too close to the story of Michael Douglas's 1989 film Black Rain. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 11 of 57 critics' reviews are positive. The website's consensus read, despite being set in an amusement park, Beverly Hills Cop 3 forgets to have any fun, as it turns out uninspired violence and witless gags on an uncharacteristically lethargic Eddie Murphy not helping matters. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film score of 16 out of 100. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of B on an A+ to F scale. About the experience of making the movie, John Landis said, "Cop 3 was a very strange experience. The script wasn't any good, but I thought, so what? I'll make it funny with Eddie. But then I discovered on the first day that I started giving Eddie some shtick. He said, you know, John, Axel Foley is an adult now. He's not a wise ass anymore. So with Beverly Hills Cop 3, I had this strange experience where he was very professional, but it wasn't funny. I would try to put him in funny situations and he would find a way to step around them. It's an odd movie. There are things in it I like, but it's an odd movie.
Okay. I can see that. Um, this is definitely different from what we saw. I mean, you see the progression, right? Like the first one was more slapstick. The second one, he's so by the time we get to 3, yeah, you're thinking he's a father of 2.
Right.
You know,
In an interview with the AV Club in 2009, Bronson Pinchot claimed that Eddie Murphy was really depressed at the time Beverly Hills Cop 3 was being filmed, claiming that Murphy was low-spirited and had a low energy level. In fact, during one of his scenes with them, he's like, he's not really there for a lot of it. I'm doing my scenes with somebody else and they reinsert each other. Not the big one. I think it's the second time when he goes back for the gun. Speaking on Late Night with Seth Meyers, Eddie Murphy noted that the first and second Beverly Hills Cops are really good, while the third one lacked a great villain. Sitting down with Screen Rant ahead of Beverly Hills Cop Axel F., Murphy reflected Beverly Hills Cop 3 and why it did not work. He commented that the third entry in the franchise failed to connect with audiences due to the addition of Sergeant John Taggart, and also because the stakes in the movie aren't as high enough to compare with its 2 predecessors. The first movie, Axel's best friend is killed, and the second one, his friend Captain Bogomil gets shot, and then in the third one, his boss, Chief Tyler. But the focus is on Uncle Dave being in trouble. That's what the movie is about. Folks, I apologize. They were fine, and then they're not fine. So I apologize. That's on me. TJ, overall, what would you give this on an A+ to F scale?
on an A+ to F scale, I'm gonna give it a C+, but still, I like the movie. I like the movie. When we rank them, you will see that I don't rank it in last place. I have not seen Axel F yet. I was waiting to let the watch be before we got to it. So now that we're here, that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend and taking notes on it. And the reason that I'm so high on Beverly Hills Cop 3 is because this is the first one that I was age appropriate for, right? Like this is the one where when it came out, I could see it. I got all the jokes, and yeah, I enjoyed it. It was an amusement park, and I enjoyed going to amusement parks at the time. So yeah, like that was a win for me. But I can see why others liked 1 and 2 better. One shouldn't even be compared to 3. It's not fair.
No, it's not.
But
It's not. That's not fair.
yeah, I still think 3 is a strong picture.
I think I'm right there with you, a C+ in all of that. We'll get to our final rankings of all of the movies when we get there. And Axel F is just a different film. Time has passed, and you've got just a different film. But that's what we'll be talking about when we get back together again. Anything you want to plug before we go, TJ?
I think I mentioned it. I don't know if it was in the green room with you before or if it was when we first started. But as I said, I checked out or I've started um, Hayden Panettiere's book. It's Me, The Reckoning. Um, I would encourage folks to give it a read or give it a listen. It's crazy because she reads it, and she passed the Monday before her 37th birthday. Her 37th birthday would have been August 21st. And she died on that Friday. She died the Monday before. So we're actually listening to the book on Saturday the 22nd, and I made the comment to my partner as we listened to it. I was like, it's as if she knows she's gone. Like the way she's reading it, it's as if she knows that she's gone already. And I'm just, I wasn't like crazy emotional or anything like that. It was just, you know, I've seen her life within my life.
Right.
So, you know, it's something. So yeah, you know, if nothing else, if you want to get a message from Uncle Dave, I would encourage you to, as always, love freely and don't take a moment for granted. Don't take a moment for granted. If you think about them, message them because you don't know when you'll get the opportunity to do it again. I love you all just because you're here on this earth and you're watching this, and I'm saying thank you. You've given us a listen. You go over to Patreon and check out Baby Kangaroo Media. You do that, and I say thank you for it. For the people that see our thumbnail and pass on it, I got love for you too, because you're doing this thing called life alongside me, and we may never meet each other, but it's just life's too short. It's not a competition. This is me versus me. It's not me versus y'all. So that's all I got, man. I love you, brother, as always, Jesse. Keep it going, my guy.
I appreciate you too, brother. Thank you all so much for listening. Like, subscribe, share, hit the little bell. You'll get the notified every time we drop an episode. When we come back for our next episode, we'll be back. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Then we're going to get on to back to the little MCU action, Black Widow, and then Black Panther. We're in our black era, I guess, TJ.
We're in the black era of the MCU, man. But hey, we're getting closer and closer to Doomsday, man. That Doom focused trailer was pretty dope.
Right. Yep. All right. But for TJ, this is Joey saying we will talk to you all next time.